that Dirty Look show in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania, September
Oh,
18th has been announced. So that's
yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
Let's get it all out right now,
All right.
And that's happening September 18th at Selinsgrove Speedway in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania. By the time this shot of rock and roll gets out, we will not even be on the plane yet, I think. So we've got it, it's a couple months now. Well, shit. Today's the 27th and then August 27th. So, yeah, almost 5.5 weeks.
Yeah. So
Oh,
so we should clarify
yes.
this was a gig that was scheduled for last year, and it's you fronting Dirty Looks.
Yeah.
The original gig was postponed due to COVID, and so this is sort of a rescheduled appearance. And I
Right.
know the first go around, you guys were doing more than one appearance. Is that right? Is that still
There,
on?
there was a festival that we were trying to do like the same weekend. We were going to do the Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania show. We were going to do Brad Lee's festival. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was going to be in Baltimore. And the original Selinsgrove, PA gig was going to be at the fire hall, like the fire station. Looks like
Yeah.
they were going to pull back the fire engine trucks out of the big where they park the fire engines, and they were
Yeah.
going to put a stage in there and a PA. They were going to turn it into a concert hall, and I was looking forward to that. But that original date was like it was scheduled for the week the world had started to lock down.
That's right. That's right.
So here we are a year later, and I feel fairly safe and lucky that we're doing it at a speedway. So it's an open air type of a festival type of a gig. So there'll be plenty of social
Distance.
distancing going on,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
there you go. And
Wow.
I feel like you know we already rehearsed for that gig that was supposed to happen a year ago. So this is kind of crazy, but we feel okay about it. We're we're flying. Me and David and Paul are flying in uh, the day before the gig and gonna rehearse
Okay.
and then do the gig and then fly home on like the Sunday or whatever.
So David Beeson, is that right?
David Beeson is going to, let's talk about that in case there's some people scratching their head trying to figure out, well, you can't do Dirty Looks without Henrik because he plays guitar and
Right.
sang. Well, as badass as Henrik Ostergaard was, rest his soul, he died in January of 2011, and the world has not been the same without him. He was such a bad motherfucker.
One of the
I
best voices. Not.
love his songs, love his lyrics, love his whole persona. He was like a Lemmy. He was kind of a, rip snorting, drinking, partying, stay up all night, let's go rock and roll every day, leave a fresh looking corpse kind of a guy.
Yeah.
And he lasted a long time, just like Father Lemmy, and but had some health problems in the end, and yeah. So a while ago he passed, and the original the Cool from the Wire Turn of the Screw lineup, which features Paul Lydell, Jack Pyers, and Gene Barnett.
Right.
You know they they've all done other things because at that point, I mean, none of them had been in a version of Dirty Looks in a long time for whatever reason, and Henrik had kept it going for a long time,
Yeah.
uh, and so Paul's been down in Texas since '94 playing in Dangerous Toys and is a founding member of Broken Teeth.
Yeah.
So there's me and Paul are still partners and band partners and writing partners and whatever. And then Jack Pyers a couple of years ago started calling Paul, "What do you think about this idea?" And so it took a while to even get everybody on board, and Jack's first call was to Paul about, well, we got to get Jason to sing, and I completely fell aback because of the honor it is to be asked and to be thought of in that. I can't fill Henrik's shoes. I'm not trying to be Henrik.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like Henrik and I have a lot of the same vocal influence and sort of vernacular and verbiage and attitude in our voices already. He was a fan of Dangerous Toys, and in the times that he and I met and hung out, all we talked about was rock and roll. All we talked about, of course, it was all we talked about.
Yeah.
And I saw Dirty Looks 100 times before Paul ended up moving to Texas. And you know, there's stories and there's members of Dirty Looks' road crew as well as Paul will tell you, and other members of Dirty Looks will tell you that Henrik was the kind of guy that, you know, never invited other, you know, his friends and bands to come up and sing a song with Dirty Looks. He never did that.
Yeah.
Well, I recall like 2 or 3 times he did that with me.
Yeah.
So what does that say? I'm not thinking anything back then, and I'm not thinking anything now until Jack calls and Paul goes, well, Henrik used to tell a story that, you know, how he appreciated me, and I'm not making this up. This has been said in interviews by Paul Idell himself. So it's an honor. I'm really glad that it's happening. There might be some people that are still kind of going, it's not the same. Well, of course it's not the same. We are paying, at least I am paying, super homage and humble celebration of ultimately what he had given to the rock and roll world through his songs with his band Dirty Looks. And I need everyone to know that I am such a huge Dirty Looks fan that this is a big deal.
Yeah.
And when people don't understand and, you know, how they think this is like a money grab situation or something, it's like, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
This is a once in a lifetime thing. Why don't we celebrate this while the rest of the lineup on those classic Dirty Looks records are still alive?
Yeah.
So everyone who missed it can get a glimpse of what
Yeah.
it was. And then the people who were there for Henrik, they could still be there for him again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's cool that you're doing this. I think it's cool that you have a history with Henrik. It's almost like you're getting the stamp of approval from the great beyond. And as you said,
I didn't even think of it like that, but through the remaining members of those lineups, you know, Jack and Gene and Paul, you're right, that's happening. I'm even choking up a little bit thinking about it.
yeah,
It's kind of crazy. Dude, I tell a story. I used to tell it a whole lot when Dangerous Toys is before we were signed. We were down in San Antonio getting ready for a show, and we're in a hotel room just chilling before the show, and there's a clock radio on the nightstand, and it's on 99.5 Kiss, Joe Anthony,
yep,
who people, if you're from down here, you know who Joe Anthony is. If you don't, you could just Google Joe Anthony San Antonio 99.5 Kiss, and you'll read an entire Wikipedia about the guy. So anyway, he plays. This is a new band, new record. The band's called Dirty Looks, and this is called Oh Ruby. And he plays Oh Ruby, and I'm like, turning to the other band members of the Toys, and I'm going, do y'all fucking hear this? Do you hear this fucking song?
yeah,
And from then on, and then we found out Max Norman produced the record. Then we get signed. Dangerous Toys gets signed, and we end up getting Max Norman as a result of how much we love. Other than he did this little song called Crazy Train with some guy named Ozzy as well, but that may have had some play in it too. But no, we heard Oh Ruby. We're like, oh man, I want to sound like that.
yeah,
So finally, in a very strange chain of events, I personally get to actually kind of sound like that.
yeah.
So
So tell people again, where's the gig, the dates, where can they find tickets, etc.
Yeah, the ticket link is flying around. Some people have been asking about how to buy tickets that are in the area, or is even they're over in New York or Connecticut or something, that are willing to drive a couple hours to see it. I think the ticket link is brownpapertickets.com, and then you just search for the band Dirty Looks. The date is September 18th, 2021, at Selinsgrove Speedway in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania.
There you go, folks. Get you some dirty looks.
Nice. God, it's unreal. I can't. It's a fanatical just to even hear it. I'm going, what?
Yeah.
They can't do that. I mean, I'm even. It's kind of a doubt. I'm casting doubt upon what. It's like, oh shit. Oh yeah.
Now
Damn. I better.
you're gonna have fun with it. You're gonna have
Oh
fun
yeah.
with it.
Oh yeah.
The band's gonna have fun reliving the tunes. You're gonna
Yeah.
have fun bringing some new spirit and energy to them, and the
Yes.
crowd's gonna love it. So
Awesome.
there you go. The return of Dirty Looks with Jason McMaster on vocal.